Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about Summer Moon Utah Wells, 5 years old when she vanished on June 15th, 2021. After 4.5 years, there has been some breaking news in her case. And tonight, we're going to be talking about a lot of that and a lot about the past on the other side of this.
Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is November 20th, 2025. It is currently 9:01 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello. Good to see you all. Thank you guys so much for joining me. As you guys are rolling in here, would you do me a big old favor and hit that thumbs up button? It's free and it makes a world of difference. You'd be very, very kind. And for extra bonus points and for 10 years of good luck, please share this live out to whatever social media platform of your choice. I did them both. You are a good girl, Sarah. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Hey, Portia. Thank you so much for becoming a member here on the Pearl family. Really do appreciate you, my friend. Welcome. Well, welcome, beautiful Portia, in as our newest member. Tonight, we're talking about Summer Moon Utah Wells, who vanished from her, I was going to say Hendersonville, from her Rogersville home on June 15th, 2021. And since then, there's been a lot of nothing since then. I see different names. I don't know what you mean by that, Lovely. Justin, I heard in another chat that Don got arrested tonight. Is that true? No, not that I'm aware of. Let me check. Hold on. I'll tell you in just a couple minutes. I would have probably got an alert if he did. I keep tracks on him. Hey. Yeah, I have not heard that, but we'll see. We'll see. Where did you hear that? You can say this creator's name. Hey, Lolo, Robin, Crystal, YouTuber Golden, Grace. Good to see you. All of that. Okay, we're checking right now because I just checked some of. I just checked a couple messages, and I got a couple messages. I heard JSB went to Pandrew's house. Is that true? Andrew lives in New York. No. No. We're going to get to all of it here in a second. I'm just trying to wait and see if we're getting confirmations. That would be some shit. That would be some shit if he got arrested tonight. No, the presence for Van Hill Road was last week when all that happened. But yeah, the FBI, the TBI was there, all of that. And Mama Styles, they change it back and forth. It'll be your regular screen name one day, and the next day it'll be the @ symbol. It's very weird. I'm out says I looked it up. He isn't in custody. Thank you. Yeah, the Van Hill Road was last week. All right. Yesterday, we're still checking just to verify as well. I'm just looking at my phone. Yesterday, it was asked, the news asked Don and Candace if they wanted to speak on their daughter. And they didn't. Who lives on Van Hill? His last name is Hill. Okay, no, there's nothing in Vineland. He's not been arrested. Nope, he's not been arrested. Thank you so much, Carrie. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, my dear. Yeah. So it's Fred's and Andy's because Andy and Fred are related as well. Okay, so let's get to what's in the news right now, and then we're going to get into some stuff. Okay. Let me pull this up and we'll get it started. This is coming from WJHL. No, that's not the one I wanted. Give me a second. I got too many windows up that I've got to close from my last live. Okay. Bear with me one second. Here we go. This is coming from SMV.
Investigation is saying the Summer Wells case is far from being cold. TBI officials saying this week they followed up on a lead at a home on Van Hill Road in Greeneville last week. That spot in Greeneville is about 10 miles from where Summer went missing. Officials did not say if anything has come from that lead. It's now been 4 years since Summer Wells was 5 years old when she disappeared from her Hawkins County home. TBI officials continue to ask if you have any information on where Summer may be. Call 1-800-TBI-FIND.
I'm Jerry Askin. Some city, county, and state leaders say the halt on the National Guard.
Well, damn, I thought it was more than that. Okay. All right. Maybe this is the one. This is the one, maybe. 2 seconds. Hello. Welcome everyone coming in. JHL.
Statement of a new lead the agency followed up on in the search for Summer Wells.
It happened at the 3500 block of Van Hill Road, not far off from where Summer was last seen over 4 years ago.
So this place where they were looking at, it is, when I say literally on the border, I just spoke to a local, and Don has not been arrested. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. He has not been arrested. So this is on the border of Greene and Hawkins County. I have passed this place so many times, going to Summer's house. In fact, every time I go to Summer's house, Don and Candace's, Ben Hill Road, I have to pass this house for me to get there. And in my opinion, I do believe Don and especially Don, knows this person. Also, he got arrested when he got his DUI right there. When does Don and Candace's oldest turn 18? Probably getting pretty close. Has the that on her chat, but she's going by the phone between Mary and Candace. So yeah, he's not in the thing at all. Although, one second. Yeah, so was Summer the only girl? Summer was the only girl. Yes. She is the only girl. Want to go over something that, again, this is my opinion, and is Paul related to F Light as well? That's a good question. I don't know. It may not have sent a notification out because I've probably used up my last 3 in the last 24 hours. So, but I do believe Don knows who this individual is. Don rarely does not speak, right? When the news happens with Summer, or an anniversary or anything, they're always there to speak. Don does not. Hey Henry, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a minute. Don has no problem speaking, and it's very interesting how he called this drama, which to me, he knows this isn't drama. He knows this isn't drama. Candace has 7 children. Yes. Don and Candace, between both of them, have a total of 9. Don knows this is not drama. And to me, he's trying to downplay this. And I bet you my stars, he is shitting bricks right now. Yeah, she has 7. He is shitting bricks right now. Oh, I can tell Dawn, right? Yeah. And Candace is probably just a mess. I think Candace just cries. Dawn really thought that they've had nothing. They've had nothing. And for the FBI to go out there, they already know before they get there. You can bet your ass that they already know before they get there. We're going to play some stuff here in just a minute.
News Channel 11's Ansley Daniel has followed up on this new information as the Amber Alert for summer still remains active.
This is Van Hill Road. It's about 9.5 miles from the Wells family.
So this is Van Hill Road right here. And where Ansley is standing is at, like, she is standing literally at the beginning or end, whichever one you want to say, of Van Hill Road. And there's a stop sign right where Ansley is. And you either have to make a left or a right. And when you're there, when you're on Van Hill Road, you have to make a right to get to Dawn and Candace's house.
Home on Ben Hill Road, where Summer was reported missing. As you can see, there are posters here with her information on them. And last week, law enforcement conducted a search on this road in the 3500 block. It's about 2 miles back from where I'm standing here. It's very similar to Beech Creek, as the homes are spread out and there is a lot of land. It's also close to the Greene County line. We did reach out to Dawn and Candace after the TBI confirmed a recent search in their daughter's case. They said they do not want to be interviewed as they are waiting to hear more from the TBI and, quote, otherwise it is just more drama and stirred pain, so there was nothing to say.
Someone said, I'd like to know who turned in the tip. I believe I know who turned in the tip.
End quote. We reached out to Hawkins County Sheriff Ronnie Lawson, too, and have yet to hear back. We also stopped by his office today and were told that he wasn't in. The TBI couldn't tell us what the tip about Summer was that led them here to Van Hill Road, or if anything came of it. In Hawkins County, Ansley Daniel, News Channel 11.
So there's that. Now, the next thing is what's next, right? Is there going to be an arrest soon? Are there going to be searches? Are they going to be quiet on what's going on until someone's door is knocked down? I'm not going to say, but I'm almost certain who turned in the tip. It's not Austin Reed, no. Mm-mm. Nope, not Austin Reed. So, but Don has always spoke on his daughter, his missing daughter, different than anybody I've ever heard. And
up here and take our daughter. This is not going to be somebody's like, oh, I love you, Summer, and I just want to save you from a bad situation. And I just want to save you from a bad situation. 90% of the time when someone takes a little girl or whatever, or boy even, 90% of the time it's because they're predators. So it's just not good. Somebody has hurt her, probably sexually, maybe beat the fuck out of her, probably killed her. Let's be realistic. This ain't gonna be good. A predator would come up here and take our daughter. This is not gonna be somebody's like, oh, I love you, Summer, and I just want to save you from a bad situation. And I just want to save you from a bad situation. 90% of the time when someone takes a little girl or whatever, or boy even, 90% of the time it's because they're predators. So it's just not good. Somebody has hurt her, probably sexually, maybe beat the fuck out of her, probably killed her. A predator would come up here and take our daughter. This is not going to be somebody's like, oh, I love you, Summer, and I just want to save you from a bad situation. And I just want to save you from a bad situation. 90% of the time when someone takes little girl or whatever, or boy.
Yeah, that's what he says about his missing daughter. That's what he says about his missing daughter. Don is the one that says that he has been in some very how would you say it? Weird. Well, we would think it would be weird situations where he has seen really bad things happen to children. So, for those of you that don't know whose property that they were on, this is the person's property that they were on. Now, again, I want to make it extraordinarily clear that this person has not been named a person of interest in Summer Moon Utah Wells's case or anything at all. But they did go there related to the Summer Wells case. His name is Paul Hill. Now, his son is they have a tree business, and his son took over the business in 2015. Okay. So there's that. Okay. Let me pull up something here and show you. I do believe what is this? It might be. Okay. Someone wrote this in a chat talking about that property. And they said it might be all that was going on Van Hill Road. FBI, TBI, Hawkins County, and Greene County been there a while is what was posted. Said it was a tip on Summer Wells and Paul was arrested. Now, Paul has not been arrested. Said Paul was kin to Fred. That is allegedly true. Now, I don't know if any of this is true, but is what's being posted. Multiple people are saying. So they was there. Paul Hill, supposed to be Fred Hill's uncle, is what was posted. Lives 12 minutes from Ben Hill. What I think we need to do is go and find out anybody that's lived on Ben Hill, their original story. What time did Candace say she was down at Fred's? Original. He's related to Fred and Andy, correct. What time did Fred say that what's his face was down there who saw Candace? Yeah, that was Dawn. Yeah. I mean, we have 911 recordings where Summer is saying, Mommy, help me. Daddy, is hurting me. Still yet to this day, I believe whatever happened to Summer, the parents knows. And again, why did Candace and Dawn go down there? Candace goes down there before, supposedly after Summer was missing, and is looking for Fred, or wanting to speak to him. And then, Cotton's supposedly down there. Just think If Don can speak so sickening on YouTube like that, what he must say and act like and close the doors, Justin. Let me tell you something. Don is, in my opinion, and has always been a monster. And the thing with Candace, she just needs a man. That's all she will do. She will throw anyone to the side for her man. Joseph Frank Hill is the other brother. To Paul, right? ICU. Am I correct on that? Oh, he is a peeping Tom. Absolutely. I know, Heather. I can't see or read what just. Go to my vertical live. Go to my YouTube and go to lives, and then I'll have 2 lives going right now, and go to the other one, and you'll be able to see it all that way if you're on your phone. Going through over, I was really, and I have said this from the beginning, I truly, truly, truly believe the reason the family system broke in this home was because of the pandemic. When Summer went missing, it was in the heart of the pandemic. And as you know, we all got money. We all got money during that time. The more kids you had, the more money you got. And when you are already prone to addiction and that kind of thing, money is, it's bad, because it feeds those addictions, right? And just going through a lot of this, some of these things that Candace posted, just going back today and digging through it all. Rugs, yeah. And this was June 12th, 2020, so about a year, but your effing piece of cop DCS calling bitch. You better watch Karma's a bitch, and it's going to get you. Don and Candace claim that not Summer, but CPS was there the day before, the evening before Summer went missing. And then the next day she goes missing. To me, I've always wondered, were they going to do a physical on her? It's truly what goes through my mind. Were they going to do a physical? There was a lot of, hey BB, good to see you. There was a lot of CPS calls that went on there. But she was about to start kindergarten too. And when I say a physical, I don't necessarily mean just a normal physical. Because I don't find it coincidental. Because also Don was staying in the houses that he was working. He had a microwave in the bathroom, and he would sleep in the bathtub. Because he would, in my opinion, he was not supposed to be at that house. He also told Dudley this. Dudley said that he was not, he said he couldn't go home. Right? And what did she put here? Blyhouse dad, he's okay from what I know. Okay, what was this one? No, not that one. But this was like some of the comments that Candace spoke on about that cop calling CPS. Bish, she says. Who, sis? Candace said, message me. Time for head banging Bob, whatever that is. Who? You okay? Someone said, well, I didn't do it. And someone said, and why is this on my post? Candace had no problem telling people to F off. F off. I want to read some things to you here. That's an article from when Summer first went missing. What is this? Okay, I got that one. Okay. Bear with me. Here we go. There is so much to it. 1 second. Okay. Here we go. And this is what they told, because the original stories is the most important, y'all. From everybody, anybody that's ever gave an account, the original story is the most accurate. It's before, people's been able to bring up other points. And so they, lie and all of that. But this was done very early on. And here we go. On the morning of June 15, 2021, Candy, it's actually Candace, Summer Wells' grandmother, needed to see a doctor about her aching knee. Candy's full name is Candace, just like Summer's mother, Candace Wells. So Candace told the Rogersville Review, that the day began at the Kingsport Holston Valley ER. After dropping Candy off at the ER, Candace called, after dropping Candy off at the ER, Candace and Summer went to visit some family friends in Kingsport. When Candy called Candace to come pick her up, the family went to the 15-year-old son. Hold on, how does it read? When Candy called Candace to come pick her up, the family friend's 15-year-old son asked to go along. I went to pick her up, and then we drove all the way across town, dropped off the prescription. Candace told the Review, quote, they said it'd be about 30 minutes at the most. So we were like, well, instead of us sitting here in the car where it's hot, it was baking hot, we'll just go to Warriors and let Summer swim for a little while. Like I said, we weren't even planning on going swimming or fishing or anything, end quote. Now, that is a lie. That's a lie. Check this out. It's a lie. It's 100% a lie. Because Candace said that they had made at Hunter's house that they were either going to go fishing or swimming. Right? Oh, absolutely, Beck. You have to have a judge to sign off on that. And there's got to be more of a probable cause than not, right? So Candace says, we weren't planning on doing anything just because we have to wait for a prescription. You will never be able to convince me that Candace and Hunter were going to that lake that day one way or the other. Not because they had to wait for a prescription. They went to this specific Walgreens because it is directly at the entrance of where the lake is. There's Walgreens, there's a four-way section, and then there is the entrance to the lake. Don't forget, whenever they pulled things out of Candace and Don's house, one of them was a picnic basket. A picnic basket. What do you use a picnic basket for? Well, to go places and picnic, right? I don't find that a coincidence, in my opinion. But they said it was baking hot. But Candace and Hunter said prior to that they said that they were going fishing or swimming at Hunter's house. In fact, they used to say that Summer changed at Allie's house and Hunter's. Right? That never happened. That never happened. Okay. This is one of the very few things that we have a quote on Candace. The three swam in the cove just south of the park's horse stables, and it was here that one of the last videos of Summer was shot. The video has been the subject of much internet speculation and conspiracies alleging that Summer went underwater and the boy dove in to save her. Hunter says that Summer did go underwater that day, but she popped back up and she was just giggling. I don't know how I feel about that. I still don't know how I feel about that. Because again, one of the two biggest, the number one biggest death of a child from 0 to 4 years old is drowning. So she's 5, but there was probably no one to watch her, to be honest with you, because I'll say it, and that's just the way I feel. I've always felt that way. I feel like Candace, in my opinion, was inappropriate with Hunter. I do. I believe, in my opinion, she spoke to Hunter the night before. Hunter said he was up all night and he didn't go to bed till the early hours in the morning. And I believe law enforcement knows this. And they were talking throughout the night. They were talking after law enforcement told them not to talk. Right? Hey, Carol, Grubby Goat, Shannon. Hey, Julius, Robin, YouTuber. Okay. However, Candace told the review that this did not happen. So that's a discrepancy. One can only be true. You either, right? She either went under the water or she didn't. Why is a 15-year-old going to lie about that? He has no reason to lie about that. Now, a mother getting prosecuted might have a reason to lie. So that sticks out to me. There's no reason to lie about that unless there's something going on, potentially. Right? this the right love. Thank you, sis. Thank you so much, Candace. Appreciate you, my dear. Good to see you. I still say Hunter has the golden key to what happened. He might. He might. He might. It's very, you never know. Okay. This is Candace's direct words, quote, end quote. Quote, that boy lied on everything that happened, end quote. Candace said, quote, because the place I was at, there were no rocks. She didn't land on no rocks and fall in the water. She wasn't under the water for 20 seconds or more, like he said. That was just a bunch of lies he made up. I don't know why he did that, end quote. Now, again, this is a kid who is sitting, Chris from the interview room, he did an interview with him. We've all seen it. And I believe Hunter there. I do. I absolutely believe him there. I don't believe there is any reason for him to lie about that. Now, I believe Dawn had the boys that day as well. I find it interesting that when they were in the line for Walgreens, that Dawn calls Candace, tells everyone to be quiet. Shh, be quiet. And this is when Dawn says there's a bunch of, or there's a man up on the hill touching the kids. Like that. Now, again, that's a weird thing to say. It's a weird thing to say. Because if Dawn wasn't there, how would he know? Yes, they have lost every child they've ever had. Correct. Now, you can look at it a few different ways. But this was around 12:30, 12:45, from what I recall. I could be wrong on that. Whenever Dawn calls. Okay. And why would he say something like that? He's at work, right? He says he's at work. Now, I don't believe Grandis was with them. I do not believe, because Grandis in her interview, she's like, I believe it was the horse pond. Well, you wasn't there then. So where was Grandis? Grandis either had to be with Allie or at home. One or the other. And I've always wondered, did Dawn call Grandis and want to know where Candace was, and Grandis told, like, oh, her and Hunter are together or something? I don't know. Wasn't she in the pickup putting minutes on her phone? That is what she said. That's what she said. But people at the horse stables and stuff disagree. They disagree. Now, the horse stable's not there anymore. It burnt down. It burned to the ground. But they also say that there was another car there until late in the afternoon, until later in the afternoon. That was one of their vehicles. And to me, Don should not have taken that Subaru that day. There was no sense in him taking that Subaru. This is a brand new Subaru. Brand new at the time. Less than like 5 months old. Don is taking a brand new Subaru, loading his mud and his tools and all of that in there that morning, whenever he's got, oh guys, I got to show y'all something, by the way. He's got a brand new or he's got a truck, a perfectly good work truck, that's, there's nothing wrong with it. So why would he do something like that, right? Why would he take that? Okay, I found a much more clearer picture, by the way, of that red truck. Just bear with me. I've got so many things in Summer's file here. I gotta just scroll through it real quick. But why would he do that? Now, let me just show you a couple things. Candace, the one thing I will say about Candace is she took the kids everywhere. She did. As crappy of a mother as she is, she took these kids places. But not only, I think she didn't do it just for the kids, in my opinion, but she did it for herself as well. She did it for herself as well. I found a much more clearer picture on this that I was trying to show y'all the other day. This is the morning Dawn, Candace, Summer, this is the day Summer goes missing. Don said he was going. Okay, now let me think about this. There was this red truck, he says, at the bottom of the hill. At the bottom of the hill. And he said there was a man down there and this woman at the bottom of the hill. And the police was out there as well. But look in the mirror here. Look in this mirror. What do you see in that mirror? Tell me what y'all see in that mirror. Yeah. Something was going on. Well, it's Dawn, yes, but yes. Nice, Murray got it. Dawn's truck. Now, if he's going somewhere that morning, right? And he's taking the Subaru. Hold on. What time was sunrise on June 15th, 2021 in Hawkins County, Tennessee? Because Don says he leaves work at about 7:30. Something like that. And it's daylight outside. And if he's going to work, why has he got his truck down at the bottom of the hill? Why does he got the truck down at the bottom of the hill? I don't think it was after BB. It definitely wasn't after. It definitely wasn't after. Don took his self and asked the police permission. This was in August. No, wasn't in August either. Nope. The incident was weeks later. When did this happen? Hey, Tiff. This was after? When was this after? Well, this is the problem. Don, TM says August 2021. Okay. Then why? So Don lied about that. So Don lied about that, right? Because Don said he went down there that morning. Well, no, he said he went down there that morning and he said a woman, like an ugly woman, popped her head up. And Don did say it happened that morning. I mean, I do remember that part, but was the day, wasn't that the day the lady in the red truck? Yeah, it was the red truck. Yeah, I got you, dear. I got you. Where did he say that at? I want to say he said it on Chris's. Well, yeah, but he did, I know he did say it was, he did say it was that morning or the morning before. It was one or the other. And see, I want his original statements. That's what I want. Thank you, Don B. I know it was the morning or the morning before. I couldn't remember, but I want to know when he changed it. Hey, Tiff, do you know when he changed it to August? Because it was the red Toyota thing started, and Don said the truck wrecked that morning, and he confirmed it. It was a red Toyota because everyone was asking him. I don't remember him saying a red Toyota, but I remember him saying a red truck, and he took the picture. You know what we could check? We could check. I wonder if the records would still be there. It wouldn't be the next day because you couldn't get down there the next day. You couldn't get down that neighborhood the next day. Yeah, you can see the police right there. Right. God, it would be. Oh, yeah, yeah. I don't know if Tiffany's still here, but I wanted to see when how August came out. Thank you, Candace. In memory services eases alley confirmed Summer was alive when they. So that's what they originally said, Candace, but Allie had actually confessed that she had been untruthful. He never confirmed that day, but there was a police report to confirm. I want to say it was August 12th or. See, that doesn't make sense, Tiff. You get what I mean? Because listen, so Don had obviously done interviews in some in June after Summer went missing. Obviously, this is the whole month of July. And then August, he would have seen, I'm almost certain he talked about that truck before August of 2021, right? You get what I mean? There's just so much stuff that's happened. Oh my God, it's so ridiculous. That's what makes me question it now. You know what? Hold on. So this was the conversation with Chris McDonough. Let me see if I can find Dawn saying like a truck. What car did you take that day? The people are going to ask. Truck comes up 22 times. Somebody seen supposedly at the... Okay, bear with me. Let me check. Let me play something and see what he says here. This makes me wonder now.
Depends on the totality of the circumstances. Yeah. And what, but, go ahead. Go ahead. And I called CBI and says, look, I'm going to go over here and get this address for you. I took off work, drove clear over there, got the address. I said, I think you need to check it out because they had a truck in service at that time that had that ladder rack thing on it. I says, it's not here now, but they did have one in the shop there. So, and walk me through that truck. Where's that truck come into this? I have no idea. Somebody said that they seen it parked in our driveway when Summer got gone. So it's just an eyewitness account. Now, but that at the bottom of the hill or the top of the hill? In our driveway at the bottom. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry. Yeah, in our driveway, at the bottom. Somebody's seen it supposedly, but that's all it is just an eyewitness account or whatever. And they've never found this truck. And
okay, he's talking about the red truck.
The one where his dad works, they might have took that truck over there in prison, is out on parole. And I mentioned all that to him. And supposedly searched all them. But he probably, he could have, I don't know. When you got them kind of connections and you hang around with druggies, and they're into all these, criminal activities, you can basically make a lot of stuff happen if you wanted to. Right.
Okay, let me see if I can. He said, I know he said truck, but I don't remember which lab. It's got to be in one of these labs. Truck. Okay. He says it 22 times. So I was walking and paused the truck. Where the truck come into, I have no idea. Okay, we already said that. Okay, somewhere up and down, you're running dope. Dumped. It sounds like you stole a guy's truck. God, Don just talks. Let's see here. Oh, damn. Shit. Let me see here. I want to find out where he says all these trucks. Okay, let's go to this one.
What car do you take that day? I forget. I had the Subaru that day. Okay, yeah. Why didn't you take your truck?
Okay. Also, something that's very interesting. Don, the last time he talked to Chris McDonough on Josh's, he says that he did not. He didn't say I did not take this Subaru that day. Did he? I can't remember how he says it. I caught it a long time ago, but he's like, I did not take the Subaru. I need to go. It was the last time he talked to him.
That day, people are going to ask. Well, because the car was just sitting there, and I'm paying these payments, $600 a month plus the insurance, and it's just sitting there. And I thought,
okay, the next time he says truck, here we go.
What car do you take that day? I forget.
I had the Subaru that day.
Okay, that day. People are going to ask.
Well, because
Okay. Take the truck.
And so,
mainly product. Yeah. Go ahead.
So you take the truck, or excuse me, the car. How far away is your job? What are you doing?
It is 45 minutes away in Jonesboro.
All right.
Yeah.
And then what time do you get there? Do you remember?
I don't. I probably went and had
It's
some
so bad,
breakfast,
Chris.
somewhere or whatever, and come out here. I don't remember for sure. No, I don't.
Okay. What time do you call Candace, if you remember? I'm just trying to figure out the timeline and the window.
I'm trying to think. I'd say, maybe 3 o'clock or something like that. Okay. But I don't know. I'm not sure of that at all.
And where was she when you called her? Do you know?
So I think she said she was either at Walgreens or headed to the lake, or I can't remember. But that's why I thought, well, I might as well.
How can you not remember? He is a pathological liar, in my opinion. I mean, how can you not remember the last day that you see your daughter? Like, that's something that you are not going to forget. You're just not going to forget that. I can tell you, I have a memory of a fucking goldfish. Seriously. Can't remember yesterday. I can remember everything the day my dad died. Everything. I was 11 years old. I can still remember everything. I can remember everything when my mama died. You remember those things.
What I do.
Yeah, I mean so when you got the call, what was the first thing that came to your mind?
Well, she called frantic, panicking. And I said, well, just in case, hang up and call 911. And I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was 5:30.
That was the one I was.
To be honest with you, I don't trust police.
Okay.
Listen to what he says right there. That's always got me.
And I thought it was, for some reason, I thought it was 5:30. To be honest with you, I don't trust police.
He's always said, I thought it was 5:30. Okay, Tiff. Shit, what the fuck did I do? Sorry. There you go, Tiffany. I dropped that. You can text me or email me.
And we showed them all the information on our phones because they wanted to know. They wanted to know the timeline. So we showed them right then. When I got there, they wanted to know all that.
And also, something that's interesting to me is Dawn says his phone, Candace's phone, and Grandis's phone from 3:30 onward was deleted. He said when we got our phones back, they were deleted. Now, I don't know why. First of all, police would never delete something because if they mess with it at all, it cannot be used in court. They just take what is off of there.
And they wrote it all down, but
and when you got there, do you remember what time you arrived?
I have no idea.
If police delete anything, it is deemed useless. If they delete one thing, because you got to realize, you could be potentially setting up, even the defendant So they can't do anything like that. Like, you'll get in a lot of trouble. I want to know about that.
I wasn't paying attention. I was on Messenger with Candace as she was driving her mother's truck around looking for her in the area. Okay. So I talked to her the whole way there, and it's really kind of weird that we was able to talk all the way there, because normally we don't have connection like that.
Right.
As soon as it's kind of odd.
And what was she?
Dawn said that thank you, Tiff. They said it was what was it? It was like a 40-minute drive where Dawn was working that day. One second. Went back. So I guess so Tiffany says it was definitely August. People stuck yelling and screaming since 3 a.m. Ben Hill, let me show you this. Take this down real quick. This is strange. People stuck yelling and screaming since 3 a.m. on Ben Hill. This is what the area has resolved to. Police arrived on scene this morning, and people wonder who is hanging around Ben Hill. Summer Wells was abducted, no doubt. August 31st, 2021. Tonight's live stream features Dawn Wells interviewed with Voices Behind the Wall. Cher's got a lot of good lives with Dawn. Makes sense. People coming and going. I'll never forget. Sometimes Dawn will say some stupid ass stuff and it'll truly make me laugh. He said, I went down there to be like, are they okay? And he's like, this woman popped her head up and she looked like she was I don't remember what he said. It's just like an alien or something like that. Just the way he said it. Oh my God. I can't stand him, but he's like, you just can't help it. You can't help it with these people because you've known them so long and you just want to strangle them, in my opinion, because like Summer's missing, and like everyone as a community, as a collective of creators on here, as a collective of humanity, like that's been in this, like everyone just wants justice. And this, it's 4.5 years. It's been way too long. Why are there two different kinds of live video? Because YouTube wants us to do vertical now, and we do vertical and horizontal. Tim Mullins gave Candace Dawn phone. Yeah, that's a whole nother story. There's so many layers. There's so many layers to this. It is crazy. I went today, and there's just so many photos that I've collected over the years. Let me show you this real quick. This is when I went to Ben Hill Road. Let me take this down 1 second before I put this up. And the moment, anytime it's hard to see because but there's dogs up here at the top of the hill. 1 dog, 2 dog, 3 dog, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 dogs there. And they, like, this is as far as you can see on top of the hill, but it's nowhere near their house still. And Dawn, I was looking at some messages today. Dawn was like, yeah, I don't know why all the dogs were gone that day. I don't know why all the dogs were gone that day. Joyous, you're so funny. Yeah. He said they were all gone that day. I'm like, okay. Let me see something. Let me pull this back up. Let me see if he talks about it here. I wonder where Cher is. She needs to release some of those old interviews, because she's got a lot of good information. Because like Don and Candace, they were like, they talked to Cher more than anybody in the beginning. Anybody. It was quite crazy. This was 4 years ago, July 4th, 2021, when Chris uploaded this. July 4th. 3 weeks or so Summer had been missing. Okay. Is she under the influence? What's this?
Into this? Is she going, to cop dope? And that's the reason? I don't know. Okay. I definitely would ask that question. Okay.
I don't know. It seems kind of elusive.
It's really strange that I've never seen this truck, and I've never heard of it until just recently.
Bear with me, guys.
But I wish they would come forward.
An acquaintance comes in at 21%. A neighbor comes.
I don't think I was. No, this isn't the right one. Damn. Sorry, guys. This is the one. Was it the wrong one?
Driving.
Her mother's truck.
That the Chevy, the Silverado?
Yeah.
And what was Grandma doing when you showed up?
I don't even
This was August 4th. It was uploaded.
know what she was doing. I think talking to the police and probably just standing there looking or whatever. I don't know.
And what were the boys doing?
Looking for Summer. And then once all the police started arriving, they, bottlenecked all the roads. Nobody could move. So they was in a state of confusion and panic, I'd say.
Been forever.
Now,
cops in and out.
Was there a car at the bottom of your driveway when you pulled up? Like a cop car or anybody? You just pulled right
There
in?
was nobody there. I was the first one there.
Oh, wow.
He was not.
Yeah.
He was not the first one there.
And what about when you got there, what was your first impression of where you should search first?
Well, that's why I drove down to the bottom, because I didn't even go to the house. I went straight by that shed on the bottom.
Yeah, is that the one where off the bottom of your property to the
Yes.
Okay.
And the little dirt road, I went past that. I went straight down that hill, straight to the creek, and that's when I seen my boys. And then I seen my neighbor Don walking to the left side, and the boys were on the other side of the hill. And I knew, like I say, my heart just sank right there. I just knew she was gone.
And what brought you to that place first and not to the house?
Well, I figured they was looking all over the house, and I was thinking, well, they probably ain't been out on property yet or anything, so that's what made me drive down there first.
Okay. And then, did you go into that shed?
No.
Listen.
Well, I did.
Yours too, by the way, real fast?
Yeah, that's ours. Well, I did. I don't know if I checked it then or later, but I know I did go in there and look. But I'm not sure if it was right then, or I might have parked and walked in there and looked real quick. I just don't remember. But
He doesn't. Both of them that have friends are bad news. Yes, I see you. He does not want to answer that question right there. Did you go in the shed? First thing. Of course you know what the fuck you did. Of course you know what you did when you first get there. He's saying, well, I knew that they were already up there looking, so that's why I went down there. Well, listen, think about this for a minute. Just think about this. If you know they're up there looking, so you go down there to look, well, of course you're going to look in that shed. That's the whole reason you're down there, is to look around the shed and in the shed. So why does he not want to answer that question? Why does he not want to say, yeah, of course I checked the shed immediately? I don't get it. I mean, I believe he was kind of collecting his shit before he goes up there too. I've always believed that. Because once he goes up on that hill, it starts. It starts. That shed, oh my God.
So I knew she was gone. I went to the top of the house, went up the driveway up there.
So why wouldn't you have gone into the shed? I'm curious.
I may have. I just can't be sure on that. If I did, I went in there, but I'm not sure if I went in there right then or if I went in there at a later time. I'm not sure.
Okay. And then go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, once the police started arriving and everything, I was like, man, I'm going to go question all these damn drug dealers and everything like that. And, and they reluctantly said, go ahead. I says, I think y'all should put pressure on them and get a list of every person they know. And if it was me, I'd lock them up or whatever and then start asking questions, but it's not up to me. But
all right. Now he's getting ready to say something that is very interesting to me now, because he's always talked about Fred. Don has always talked about Fred being the drug dealer down at the end of the road. And he's going to say something to the effect of they come down here on 2 cylinders, if I recall correctly. And again, Candace, out of all the neighbors on Ben Hill, she goes to Fred's. And then supposedly Cotton is there. Then she goes to, I guess, back home. But then Dawn is down there 3 hours after Summer goes missing, allegedly. He was down there shortly after, at least. Why is everyone down at Fred's? And now Fred's cousin, Andy's cousin, his house is getting, or area, property, they're searching the cousins 9 miles away. That's very weird.
Yeah, why would you do that? Why from your perspective?
Because okay, Ben Hill Road. If you I don't want to get him in trouble or nothing, but he everybody goes back there looking for pills, meth.
Okay, you don't want to get him in trouble or nothing. Okay. Well, I didn't say Fred is the places they just searched. I said Fred's cousin's the place they just searched. But he said he doesn't want to get him in trouble or nothing. If you actually think dope dealers took your kid, why would it matter?
or whatever it is they're looking for. You know, and we see all kinds driving back through there. We even see a car coming back there just barely running on 2 cylinders, just everything they got to get car.
Hear that? Listen.
And we see all kinds driving back through there. We even see a car coming back there just barely running on 2 cylinders, just everything they got to get back there to ask him if he's got a pill or whatever, you know. It's crazy. But we've had, and also,
Exactly, True Crime Junkie.
My neighbor has caught people parking our driveways, sitting there doing drugs, you know, either early in the morning, late at night, or whatever, many times over.
So basically, that's a drug corridor. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so people go up there to cop dope.
Yes, or they, you know, and then there's the other places. I don't know where they're all at, but they, you know, they all intermingle, and you know how that kind of works, I guess. But
well, yeah, I mean, there's you know, there's a lot of dynamics always, right? There's a lot of moving parts. So back to
now, Don is portraying himself as to be the Seventh-day Adventist, you know, go to church every Sunday and Wednesday and all of that here. He is not, for those of you that's new to the case, he is not. He does go to church on Sunday, but Saturday he's smoking crack with prostitutes.
the summer for a minute. So when you got to the house and did you go into the house at any time?
Well,
listen,
yeah, I went in the house, out of the house. I mean, we was turning everything, looking everywhere. You know, we didn't know what to do, and the police started pulling up and this and that.
Listen.
Yeah.
And where did you search?
Pretty much everywhere. In the sheds, the shed right there by the house, all the sheds, everything. You know, I look everywhere. Mostly I screamed at the top of my lungs. I was like kid for summer, you know, hoping that she was just lost and around there close somewhere.
Right. And then what about in her bedroom and stuff? Did you look down there?
Well, yeah. I mean, Candace went down there too, and she looked under everywhere, under everything, you know.
Right.
She told me, you know.
Right, but that was different than you, though, right? Did you?
Yeah, but I did. Yeah, I looked everywhere also. Yes.
And what about the door?
You know, I don't remember. No, I do know the boys. We cuss them because they just leave it wide open all the time.
Right.
You know, I'm like, man, you got to keep that locked.
Okay. Now, Don says here that he would cuss the boys for always keeping that door. They would keep it open. Now, in another interview with, I think it was with Cher, he says that they didn't hardly use the door. He said he never used the door. He would always go out the front door when he went to work and all of that stuff. You send something, Tiff? You send something else? Did you send another email, Tiffany?
For sure, and they just.
How's your son doing, Tiff? Been praying for him. Oh, gotcha. Y'all guys, please say a prayer for Tiffany's son and Tiffany. They have been going through it with fighting with everything they got. So just please keep them in your prayers.
Don't listen.
Right.
Could Summer
open that door?
Probably so. Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
How many times you seen her open it? If you know.
I don't know, but she's pretty intelligent for her age. She's real intelligent, very smart, very agile.
Yeah, Miss Robbins said that too.
Yeah, she loves to run. I could be running my lawnmower, and she would just run behind me constantly the whole way, nonstop. The boys would be riding their little motorcycles, and she'd be right behind them all the way, over and over around the house, time just nonstop, plenty of energy.
Would she chase them?
Well, she'd just be running behind them, laughing. Right. She wouldn't be, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Like
just
kids,
having fun.
like little kids do.
Yeah, she don't even need a bike or motorcycle.
Right. So tell me more about her personality.
She would always come to me, Dad, hold my hand so I can twirl. And I'd hold my arm and she'd just sit there and twirl till my arm just about give out. She loved to do that. Sometimes we'd play rock and roll music or whatever music, and she liked that song Godzilla. Something was going to happen to Summer, my family to you.
Listen to this.
Well, when I come back from Utah, I was trying to move my family to Utah. I've always knew that something was going to happen to Summer. Something in my gut has always told me, and I've always told Candace, watch her closely. That's my baby. Do not let nothing happen to her. I told her that all the time.
What brought you to that thought?
I'll show y'all something.
I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it. I didn't know what it was, or I just always had this feeling that something's gonna happen to her. I didn't know if she was just gonna get accidentally run over. I didn't know what it was.
Did you think she would be kidnapped?
Never, nothing like that.
Okay.
No, I just knew it was something. I just had this intense love for her, and I think she knew something too. I think something was. I don't know if you believe in guardian angels or what, but it's something. It's something.
So you get back. So walk me through that incident, because I know that was the one that you got arrested, right?
Yeah. Well, so I get back from Utah. Candace tells me that she moved a man in the house. She didn't tell me he was gay and all this and that. She wanted me to come back.
This was
so, of course, I'm mad. I'm coming across the United States 110 mile an hour average in that little truck. And I got a ticket to prove it. But anyways, he didn't take me to jail. I told him, I told him what's going on. And he says, he gave me a big break. And says, slow down, man. You got to get there alive, you know.
Okay, look at
it was really cool. And so I come on and get there, and you know, the first day everything's kind of okay, and then we started drinking a little bit. And
in August 19th, 11 months. No, August 6. Yeah, about a year. 10 months or so. Candace and them, they put on their Facebook 11.2 acres for sale with 3 sheds and 1 house, $70,000. This was August 19th, 2020. So Dawn wanted to move everybody to Utah. They wanted to sell everything, and so I guess Candace was okay with that for a while. And then apparently something happened and she didn't no longer want to move for whatever reason. I don't know why. This was, let me show you this. Oh, damn, it's so blurry. I don't know if I can see it. Damn. I can't see it. Okay, I'll have to show you something else. It's too blurry. I'll have to get that one fixed. Okay, I'm going to pull this back up 1 second. So Don had went with his son to Utah for a while, and he was working there and all that. Then he came back because Allie, so it's a long story, but Allie, which was Candace's best friend, and they kind of had a falling out because a guy came from New York. His name was Jose, and he was staying with Candace for just a little bit. And Candace or Grandis or one of them had told him that Jose was there, and Don, of course, got jealous. And he and his son, the oldest son, came back from Utah, and everything was okay for a couple days, and then they got back, and there was this big fight. Don got drunk, and Jose and Don and Candace and Grandis all got into it. And he went to jail over that. No news briefing yet. No, none yet.
Candace had told him I messed around on him one day, which I did. I totally, I regret it. I regret it. It was the biggest mistake I ever made.
Don and Candace have cheated on each other countless times.
With her. Messed around on her at one time, but they started jumping on me, her and Candace and him. And I was going to hit him in the head with a beer bottle. It was full of beer, but at the last second, I just threw it at the wall.
Is this that Jose guy?
Yeah, and so I had all three of them jumping on me,
Right.
Yeah, the Jose guy, her, and Candace's mother were all jumping on me. And the cops got called. Candace, after I threw that beer bottle at the wall, the cops got called. And that's when her mother's, said, well, he's got a gun in the glove box. I says, well, it's just a muzzle loader. I mean, I'm allowed to have a muzzle loader. And she says, yeah, but he puts real bullets in it.
Oh,
and she's,
Is that how she hurt her knee?
Well, she was pushing me. She kept pushing me. Jose would say something like, I remember the one thing he said is, once a cheater, always a cheater, because his wife left him or cheated on him, so he's taking out on me at this point. And he, every time he would say something, she would push me. He'd go say something else, she'd push me again. I never hit her or nothing.
What time did was it 6 o'clock? Is Tiffany in here? I want to show her something. Do you remember this, Tiff? Jody Sue posting this. This was the day after Summer vanished from her home. Jody Sue says, we have been looking all day. Please help share any pictures or articles about Summer that you see on the news. Please keep your eye open for her. P.S. She didn't just walk off like the poorly worded article stated, nor was she last seen walking away from the home. And she's been missing since way before 7 p.m. The news is a bunch of morons. She's also 5'4". Oh yeah, Candace. Yeah, it sure is. Anyone see this guy named Austin Reed who was arrested from the area? He had videos of little girls on social media. Maybe. I don't think it's related. But he could know or heard something. You know, those people stay close together. They stay pretty close together, don't they? They stay really close together. Little Summer, she looks like a little angel. She's such a cutie. She deserves so much better. Look at this. Exactly, Cinderella. Look at this. They just look around her, just the dirt and the filth and all that stuff. It's bad. It's bad. It's actually terrible. She deserves so much better than so Candace, she took a lot of pictures. And one thing you always see with Summer is she is around water. Water. Right? They're always so many times they're around water. Let me show you this. Like they're always around water. I was going through so much of my stuff today. They're all around water. And then let's see here. These poor kids, man. Look at this. So cute. Candace, who, yeah. Oops, wrong one. This is the one I was looking for. Look at this one. I think everything went bad when the money started going in, like all of that. Okay, guys, I'm going to jump off of here because our friend Josh from the interview, and Josh and Chris from the interview room is live. I want to go watch them. I will be back maybe later tonight. If not, then definitely tomorrow. I love the Christmas church ones. Thank you, Miss Joyous. Love you, darling. Sharon, really everyone. Will you drop the labs link, please? I've got a lot I wanted to go over on this live, but I forgot Josh was going live, so we'll go over it later. We'll go over it later. Okay, guys. Mods, please drop the lab if you don't mind. Much love, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Appreciate you. We'll finish this later. Bye-bye.